Just when you thought Meghan Markle's drama had peaked, she stirs things up again, and this time, the palace isn't staying quiet. Her latest claim has even her fans raising eyebrows. And now royal insiders say the family's ready to strike back in a big way. So here's the twist. After years of changing stories and wild headlines, Meghan suddenly says, "I just want the truth told about me." But how can anyone keep up when her own version of the truth keeps shifting? It all started again with a Father's Day video that Meghan released, which was supposed to be warm, sweet, and family-centered. But almost immediately, the internet lit up with people pointing out odd details, like how the footage showed what appeared to be different versions of Archie kids with clearly different features, even in shots that were supposed to be taken around the same time. Some viewers even thought one of the children looked like he could be someone else's, entirely, maybe even Princess Eugenie's son. Instead of clearing the air, the video just made things more confusing. And now, according to royal insiders, Buckingham Palace might finally be done playing nice. The big rumor is that they're considering removing Archie and Lilibet from the line of royal succession, and that this decision isn't just being discussed, it's reportedly being. That's a massive move. Not just symbolic, but a message that the royal institution is ready to protect its legacy even if it means cutting family ties. Meghan has pushed limits before, but if this goes through, it could be the clearest sign yet that the royals have reached their breaking point. Let's back up for a second. Remember when Meghan said that while living at the palace, she didn't have access to her passport, driver's license, or even her car keys? She painted this picture of being completely trapped. But then people started doing the math. If she didn't have a passport, how did she fly to Ibiza with Elton John? Or throw that big baby shower in New York? Or take secret trips to Canada and Italy? It's hard to reconcile those international getaways with the idea that she was locked down and isolated. Something just doesn't add up. Now here's where it goes from confusing to explosive. Meghan has allegedly started hinting that not only were her pregnancies fake, but that the royal family knew about it and helped cover it up. Let that sink in for a second. She's not just saying she faked a pregnancy. She's suggesting the crown was in on it, helping stage the entire thing. That's not just dramatic, it's nuclear. If true, it's a scandal the royal family could never live down. But without solid proof, it feels like an accusation designed to burn every bridge left standing. And despite the backlash, Meghan keeps pushing forward with this image of herself as misunderstood and unfairly treated. She went on a podcast and said, "I just want people to tell the truth about me," which would land a lot better if she didn't have a trail of questionable claims behind her. From allegedly operating secret social media accounts to having 28 producers walk away from her Spotify deal and even claiming her father was dead when he very much wasn't, her credibility has taken a serious hit. Even Oprah, who once backed her up during that famous interview, has quietly distanced herself. She also dropped what was supposed to be a heartfelt hospital video clip to prove she gave birth to Lilibet. But people immediately noticed problems. First off, the footage appeared to be from the height of the COVID pandemic, when hospitals had strict no-visitor policies. So how did Meghan have a camera crew walking around like they were filming a music video? Even close allies like Gayle King were talking on air about how their partners couldn't be in the room during births at that time. The timelines just don't match, and every time people ask for clarification, the story changes again. What's really making the palace upset isn't just the fake bump rumors or odd editing choices. It's the idea that Meghan is accusing the institution itself of being complicit. She's essentially saying they didn't just tolerate the lie, they approved it. That accusation hits deep because it doesn't just question her own story. It questions the integrity of the entire monarchy. If the public starts believing that the royal family helped stage fake pregnancies and lied to the world, then everything from the line of succession to the traditions passed down for centuries suddenly looks fake to Dot, and the inconsistencies keep piling up. In her sit-down with Oprah, Meghan said she was never asked to participate in the traditional royal photo with her newborn. But people close to the palace say that's not true. At Al, she actually said no to the photo op unless Archie got a royal title. If that's accurate, it completely changes the narrative from "they excluded me" to "I made demands they wouldn't meet." And then there's her repeated suggestion that racism played a major role in how Archie was treated. But again, no names, no specific comments. Just vague accusations that leave people to fill in the blanks. Prince Harry, meanwhile, seems caught in the middle of it all. He once openly said that he wouldn't have left the royal family if it weren't for Meghan. And when she makes these bold claims, sometimes you can see Harry looking almost surprised himself. Is he the most loyal husband ever? Or is he slowly realizing what he signed up for? Either way, public sympathy for him seems to be fading. For a while, People assumed he was just being supportive. But after years of standing by while Meghan makes increasingly wild claims, it's getting harder to give him a free pass. Across the internet, people are asking more and more questions. Why do photos and videos of Archie and Lilibet look inconsistent? Why is there barely any authentic footage of Meghan visibly pregnant in public? Why does Netflix mostly rely on B-roll, silhouettes, and reenactments when telling their story? The deeper people dig, the more confused they get. Then that confusion is turning into suspicion. The story doesn't feel like a fairy tale anymore. It's starting to feel like smoke and mirrors. And then there's the royal response, or rather, what appears to be brewing behind palace walls. The institution has tolerated a lot, probably in the name of family and public image. But that patience seems to be running out. If the rumor about removing Archie and Lilibet from the line of succession turns out to be true, it won't just be a personal decision, it will be about protecting the monarchy's credibility. Because if the public ever seriously believes that a fake birth was staged and supported by the crown, it could unravel the trust and structure the royals have spent centuries building. Let's be real. Meghan didn't just overplay her hand, she flipped the whole deck. The palace gave her a title, space, and a role. She turned it into a global brand. They gave her a platform, she sold it to streaming services, and every time the palace tried to keep the peace, she found a way to turn it into a grievance. Now, after what many see as years of manipulating the narrative, the crown might finally be ready to say enough. Even Harry, once the lovable and cheeky spare, may not be safe from the fallout. Insiders say the royal family's approach to him is shifting. They used to assume he was just in love and caught up in it all. But after watching him echo some pretty extreme claims over the years, that sympathy is thinning. There's talk that if they really want to protect the royal brand, they may have to start separating Harry from the drama, not enabling it. And here's where the public steps in. People are no longer just consuming this story, they're analyzing it, looking for inconsistencies, noticing every odd edit, every strange timeline. And when people start feeling like they're being misled, it doesn't take long for them to push back. The more Meghan speaks, the more critics dissect her claims. And when nothing lines up, she starts to lose the one thing that kept her narrative strong: public support. Meghan has often said she gave up acting to serve the royal family. But when you look closer, her acting career was already on the decline. Her show suits was wrapping up, and the royal title gave her more attention than she'd ever had before. The sad irony is that the institution she now blames for so much may have actually given her more than she ever had on her own. And now, that same institution might take it all back, not out of revenge, but out of self-preservation. Because the royal line of succession isn't just a symbolic list. It's the backbone of a constitutional monarchy. If Meghan thought she could throw bombs at the palace and still have her kids benefit from the royal name, she misunderstood what the crown stands for. The palace has shown an incredible amount of restraint over the years, but that leash looks like it's about to snap. And when it does, there might be no turning back.